Because I've been a fast food restaurants where the employees were a bit, the employees were a bit rude. They were not as kind. So I know how fast food restaurants to be, but I'm like, if you're like having to catch hell every time you go for a hamburger or some french fries, the situation might be you. I'm like, you can't have this many people who think like you. See, if you serving people in the neighborhood who think like you can't have a nasty attitude because they come into this fast food restaurant with the same mentality you have. The same way you got a quick temper, they got quick temper. So two wrongs don't make a right. So if you know you come in here working at this restaurant, it can't be this many people at a restaurant always complaining all the same time. It must be something wrong with the workers. Something must be wrong with the workers. I wouldn't even give it a death penalty because technically I think these workers be miserable and they'll sit there and create problems. I've seen it with I spent the times I've gone to these fast food restaurants and I've had to ignore the dumb shit. Like I had one female give me a wrong drink completely. Just completely give me a wrong drink. Like I asked for something and she gave me a whole drink and a whole other drink. Like the drink cup come with its own drink cup. Like it comes with its own cup of drink. And it says it on the side. Like when you read the drink, it says on the side. So you already know what you're supposed to. They gave me a whole other drink and a whole other cup. I remember sometime I go for ice cream, they give me like one little pump, and it's supposed to be three pumps. They tell my son that's just the advertisement. It's supposed to just be one pump. I say, no, man. I've worked in ice cream shops before. I've worked around ice cream, and you're supposed to do one pump squeeze, one pump squeeze, one pump squeeze. That's how it's supposed to go. You don't do one whole long pump. It's supposed to be one pump squeeze, one pump squeeze, one pump squeeze. So they be like, well, we ain't supposed to give out ice cream. I go for milkshakes, child. I go for milkshake, and milkshake be all watered down. That is why I don't go out to eat no more. That's why I buy my own food and cook it at my. I have a high intense anxiety with fast food restaurants. They actually sort of bring intimidation, which is wrong. Because if you know you live in a black neighborhood, you need to be trained better. Because people are coming from the same black neighborhood you're coming from, they're coming from. You don't get to tell people, oh, well, that's your problem. Oh, well. Yeah, you go around telling people who are built for this because they've been around this shit their whole life. Oh well, that's your problem. Okay, oh well, that's my problem. We gonna see about that. Oh well, that's my problem. I think these fast food restaurants ought to have some logic. Like if I throw a drink at you, you don't pick that motherfucker up and throw it back at me, man. That's that shit you don't do. You don't pick a drink up and throw it back at me. If I throw a drink at you, I got damn on it. You just you be like, hey, don't come back to this store no more. That's what you do. Don't come back to this store no more. It don't make no sense you sit there and throw this whole damn drink at me. Don't come back here no more. You pick up a drink and throw it at the motherfucker. Whoever did be ready for the action. They ready for that action. Right reason why they threw it at you so you'll respond back to them. It's the oldest trick in the book. So I'm gonna throw a drink at you and you respond back. Now it's on. So everybody in the store at this point, everybody life in danger because your motherfucking ass is out get pick a drink up and throw it back at them. So now everybody life in danger all over some weak shit. That shit weak. That's weak. That's like what the fuck would you do that for? Training, training, training. Better need for training because like look at this point they need to train them workers. Look, people gonna come up in here with all kind of ways. You're gonna have to learn to just ignore shit. you're gonna have to learn to ignore shit. You know what I'm saying? I hate people that do shit. I hate people that sit there and use a job as a way to take advantage of a situation and manipulate and um, try to play victim and make somebody else the guilty perpetrator. I hate people that do that because it's nasty people out there that do that. They'll use their job as a defense to make themselves like a victim when they created the problem. I have no doubt, and that's exactly how it happened. I have no doubt the girl probably did something and she got upset and threw the drink at her, and she picked her drink up and threw it back at her, knowing she was probably wrong anyway. She just said sorry. No, she picked the drink up. Okay, throw it back at the girl. Yeah. If somebody not right, and you pick it like maybe when I was back in my days, when I was young, and you threw a drink at me and you worked there, I would be in that store. Back in my days, back when I was young, and you threw a drink at me and you work here, I'm in that store on your ass. I'm in that. So even if I threw that drink at you, I'm in that because I would assume you wouldn't know better. I would throw it at just to simply be like, okay, this is a worker. Maybe I'm tripping. You know, I ain't gonna take my ass to hell. But for you to pick that motherfucker and throw it right back at me, I'm in that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. Back in my day, back when I was young, that I had that kind of attitude. Now I would never. I would never. Now I would never. You probably would never slip it like that. I was like, you throw a drink at you throw. If I throw, even if I threw it in there and you threw it back at me, I would pick it back up and throw it right back at you. Or go in the store and find a drink and throw it back at you. And then you throw it at me and I would throw it right back. Nowadays, if somebody gave me a drink and I didn't want it, I would just be like, okay, forget it. I would just report it, say something, just let them know maybe I can come back and get a free drink later. Or maybe they'll remember me and look out for me if we be back up in here at the same time again or something. They be like, yo, I'm gonna look out for you, I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something like that. But um, I think they need to train the workers better because going outside, scrapping up and putting your dukes up, going blow to blow, toe to toe with someone, it's just it's just not cool. You're the worker. You're the worker. And then you're working at places where you don't I don't know what 5-star general you think dressed in a three-piece suit is about to be coming up in here. Uh Neiman Marcus down, but it's not happening in no fast food juke joint, especially ones like this in neighborhoods like this where you find people like this. It's not about to happen. I'm not sure why they feel like Mr. and Mrs. Neiman Marcus or Drake Down and you know, some nice-ish pulling up in a foreign whip is about to be coming out of here, arguing back and forth, even if they did come. You don't do something right, they're not gonna argue with you. Depending on who they are, you might not be working here anymore. But they're not gonna argue with you. It's not gonna be any of that. Mm-mm. And people like that will probably stick around, and find another kind of authority to handle that. But I don't know why common sense is just not playing its role with some of that shit. Like, I don't always think that because people defend themselves in the most absurd kind of way, it always has to be where your actions deployed a certain result to a human being. I'm like, yeah, human beings want to be safe. No human being wants to be hurt. No human being wants to be, dealt with over restaurant food. It ain't even your restaurant. Like I can see if it was your restaurant. Like I can see if it was your shit. But it's not even your shit. Like this is other people's. food that you're just working here serving. Like, and then it's not even like it's a restaurant in the sense where it's someone's establishment. It's just like this is like a food chain restaurant. Like it's like a McDonald's, a Burger King. Like it's like, uh, are you serious? Yeah. If you don't remake that damn Burger King or a little fast food restaurant drink or sandwich, I know some. You better put that damn ketchup in now. Nobody worrying about that shit. Ooh, put a few more extra fries in there. Why you always gotta be bougie? It ain't even your fucking food. It ain't your shit. Ain't nobody gonna you put a little bit of you put maybe this much more ice cream on there. Ain't gonna make a difference. I can see you was giving people two whole cones extra. Like they asked for one, you give them two or three. I can see if you was just giving them 4, 5 extra orders, but you know you talking about giving people a few extra fries, having to switch a drink up. People want a little bit more of a thicker milkshake. I'm like, I'm like, it's not even a specific restaurant or type of someone else's establishment. They got about a few here and there. You're talking about a well established fast food restaurants has been around for like decades. Been around for decades. Like slinging these hamburgers and fries out. Are you serious? Are you serious? Even Chipotle is still just another typical fast food restaurant. Like, are y'all serious with these little chickens and little hamburgers that ain't even yo the thing that gets to me is not even yo shit. It's not yo shit to be bothering people about. Like I could see if it was it ain't your shit. I don't understand how you could want to be so selfish on something that don't belong to you. And then when somebody tap that ass, you sit there get to looking stupid like you don't know what time it is. That's it's not yours. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not your shit. Sit here and have somebody lose their damn cool and lose their mind over some damn fools and you work here. You act like like every day gonna be peaches and cream and the sun gonna shine every day. Like you just living on the high sprees of the suburbs of LA and the high $1 million strip of Miami. You know what I mean? Like, sweetie, pick that damn cup up and just tell them not to come back to the stove or come back when they got a better attitude. You know, what is you expecting? What I just don't understand what they be. What do you think is gonna happen every day? Is probably, especially being in the ghetto or in these areas. I mean, you gotta expect people aren't probably gonna be as conductive as you know people probably should. Common sense would tell people that's why, right? But I'm like, they not. So why even? I don't get it. What's the point of you proving that point? What are you trying to solve by proving that and retaliating that? How is that helping the community that you're in by giving that? Oh, so you threw it at me, I'm gonna throw it back at you, like all that attitude, like it's just like, mm, mm. And we ain't heard back from Waffle House, praise God, in a while. That's why I say Like, look, when you have too many women working somewhere, yo, you should already suspect. That's why I said a lot of these restaurants ought to have security in there. They ought to have people posted up in there automatically because it doesn't make sense for people to be so irritated and worked up and aggravated to that extent. That sparks from something way before way before people get to these stores, but for people to be like that, to be lit like that, and to just be um trigger just within a hair follicle, just like that. Like for people to respond that quickly like that, that is something that's breeded within them way before they got to this store. So that means that that store worker had it in them, and just like this girl had it in them way before this situation even popped off. So definitely shows that there's some negative energy out there because people are just popping off. People are angry. People are just um, making it easy to just lose a temper to that extent, just to get so hyped and just so triggered that it just like, you just snap. So I'm like, I really believe that it comes from building better communities because that food is not. I mean, what kind of food is that anyway? Like, that's not like you're serving people salads and I mean literally no meat at all. At all. No meats at all. Like, it's not like you're just selling salads and um and stuff. Like, you know. Um, I'm not gonna try to make this into a something to brag or something to boost the bold be bold about, but it's like I'm just saying I think at some point acknowledging that our attitude towards each other is hurting our community. Because you got to think that worker is working at a fast food restaurant. Like, I'm sure there's a lot better jobs that's a lot more peaceful and have a professional setting than that. So I'm like, um, really? I mean, when you need help, you just need help. It is what it is. When you need help, you just need help. Sometimes I think we just need help, and it shows that maybe there's just a lot that people feel they have to take on themselves and handle themselves and deal with themselves. And, when you're just used to not having to explain yourself to people or um, answer to somebody, any little thing can probably offend you because, you feel like people trying to size you up, you're trying to test you, you know what I'm saying? So you get defensive. But the thing people have to realize is being what's the word I'm looking for? But being locked up doesn't start in a cell. Doesn't start when you get to jail or get to prison or when a judge hands you some sentence or whatever you are in or out. But being imprisoned starts here. And a lot of times we can already be locked up here. We can already be imprisoned in our minds. A cell solidifies a physical imprisonment. But sometimes we can already be locked up mentally. We have to train people how to think outside of, it's how it is. How like, man, you gotta watch it. No, respect just goes a long way. You can't always determine what people are gonna do, but respect goes a long way. A means of, hi, how you doing? Can I talk with you for a minute, please? You know, and not in a means of, because it can come off, well, can I talk to you for a minute? See your ass now. Like no, like a simple means of, hi, how you doing? How you doing today? Can I you know, how you doing? Or hello. Please stop going of your time. Good morning. Good evening. I love you. You know, don't forget to say I love you. You know, I mean, it's just like the respect of it. Like always, like even and the thing about it is so very powerful unit to have when you feel there's an imprisonment within the embezzlement of your life is respect. And people feel like when you get to certain imprisonments, the chains are set and bound. Respect is usually even better than, a lot of doors can open up for you with that. Maybe they need some metal detectors. Or maybe they ought to stop serving food with the windows all open. Maybe they ought to serve them to where it's like you don't even see who's serving you your food. But I think it is best to be able to see in the window so you can see how they're serving it, of course. But yeah, they ought to have um, something like some kind of like hold. You know how like they have like those metal things and they have like a whole bunch of holes poked in them. They ought to bring that down and then serve the food out like that. They ought to have like a way to complain, like say, okay, well they forgot this, they forgot that, they didn't do this. And then they can look at it and respond back to it. You see what I'm saying? Because I just feel like there's just way too much communication and people don't know how to communicate. I don't know. That's just how I feel. 'Cause they do that in some stores. To this day, they have that. They have some stores do have it to where they serve you the food, you know, in that way, where they just open up the flap and they give you food. I know Sonics serves you their food at tables. Like Sonics is served with round tables with chairs connected, and they serve you. They come out there to you and serve you the food. So you don't get no flap or nothing. In there, everything is open, an open unit where you sit out and everybody eats out in the public.